And we're live. Hey, Errol.
How's it going, Marcus?
I'm very, very good. We haven't had time to talk for a long time, actually. Don't actually know what's going on in your life.
I'm doing great.
The first question what I have before we start, first of all, chat, tell us if you can hear us, loud and clear. That's the most important thing before we start talking about the most important topics.
Can you guys
Like
hear me well?
HDR10.
How is my
I can,
volume?
good. I can hear you very well.
Sounds good.
We have two topics today, HDR10 Plus, 10 Plus gaming, so not HDR10 gaming. We have this for a long time, but HDR10 Plus is where we're looking into. That's this one here. And we're talking also about Lords of the Fallen performance. And have you actually played Lords of the Fallen?
Not yet. I haven't
Not
had
yet?
time.
Yeah.
The time I had available was the morning of the 13th, and for some reason, it's not available after 12 p.m. on Epics, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't install it yet. I'm coming from work today. And also, I wanted to do it like a reaction, like first impressions. I like to do first impressions, so I
Okay.
haven't had time. But I did watch. I mean, I've seen so many gameplay videos of Lords of the Fallen. I've been watching it for months. I mean, this game is one of the. It has so much marketing around it. Like it is so many videos with gameplay,
Yeah.
and I of course watched the performance videos, the PC performance videos with the afterburner numbers and the stuttering and all the issues. So I am aware.
Yeah, now I've played it a little bit on a PlayStation 5 and Xbox, and yeah, people talking about performance is really bad on the Xbox, but so far I haven't experienced this. But I have to say, I just played maybe 2 hours so far, just for my HDR analyze video. And the plan was actually to do really a performance analyze video between PlayStation 5 and Xbox, but I can't really progress in this game. Not really, very slowly. And then the problem is you have to do the same on the PlayStation again. And I said, you know what, I'm wasting so much time, just for one game. Yeah, I can't do this, really.
It's
And
tough. It's
if
tough.
and I talked to someone on Twitter, and he said after 10, 15 hours in the game progressing, it really starts to stutter like crazy. So if I'm doing now in the very beginning, analyze, and it's running actually not bad. It's you have a little bit some frame drops on the Xbox compared to the PlayStation 5. There's PlayStation 5 looks like better optimized, but it wouldn't be fair, because you do now an analyze video, it runs everything runs fine, and then 10 hours later in the game, it's absolutely crap. So I decided not to do it. I don't
And
have the capacity for it. I can't do it.
I mean, I is the here's the thing. There are so many Souls-like games that they know this kind of games. They have it has its own fan base, and you need to make it difficult because most people are gonna play this game. They already played all the previous Souls games. So if you make it, it needs to be very very difficult so you can basically use the skills that you had before. That's what I see. They are trying to make it difficult intentionally,
Yeah.
and I actually like that because I've played the other games before. But I also struggle. I it's not easy. What you have to understand that's just normal. Like if you try and you fail, you die, then you need to try again and again.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's
just
the
how it
type of
is.
game, yeah, but that's the type of game I have no patience for anymore. But I like it actually. I really like it, because so far, in my opinion, the presentation from the overall game and the gameplay is not too bad, to be very honest. I mean, it's not a Dark Soul or Demon Souls game, from the it will not reach the same quality, but that's how it is.
I beat the first one, the original Lords of the Fallen, and it was great. It didn't have the level design that Souls-like games have, but I really enjoy the animations. Back in 2016, the game still looks good for these days, and I remember the game was looking very good. The performance was okay, and it had some particle effects and NVIDIA game works. So this a studio, it seems like they want to push the boundaries
Yeah.
because that game had those features. But fortunately, you could turn that off. This NVIDIA Fizz X and all these features from NVIDIA. that died. Maybe those features they just you don't see them anymore. I don't remember the last game where we had some of those features. We did, but I don't remember. Um, so yeah, but the game was looking very good and performing well, and I like the animations and the boss battles. It was very repetitive, like same movements of the boss battles.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was good. You just need to give it a try. And you have
Yeah.
to die and die and die and die until you get it. And what I do with these games is I focus on learning the game instead of focus on progressing it. So I would not run past an enemy or try to beat an enemy without practicing the enemy. You get what I'm saying? Because maybe you see an enemy that you can just hit and you will
Okay.
succeed. I would not do that. I want to first, let the enemy attack me and maybe even die, just to learn the movements of the enemies. Because you learn by playing these games that you need to learn the game. You cannot try to just win, because it will catch up with you later. Like if you don't practice the game, at some point you will get stuck because you didn't practice enough. You get what I'm saying? So you try
Yeah.
to just die and try again. And,
Yeah, I'm struggling here. Actually, I would like to show you this actually a little bit bigger here. This game. No,
oh,
that's
that's
even
great.
worse. That's even worse. How
Oh,
can I
that's very
manage?
good. I like that.
I don't like you here. I like
Yeah,
the game.
do the opposite. So put the game in instead of
Yeah, it
me.
doesn't work like this. That's the problem. I don't know how to do this, to be very honest. Anyway, I mean that's better than nothing. Anyway, that's the Xbox Series X version at the moment. And so far, I mean, I haven't experienced a lot of stuttering, to be honest. So you can feel sometimes occasional frame drops, but to be honest, and I'm not quite sure if I can actually play this here now, because there's a little bit of delay, when you capture this with the audio card. And some of the enemies or the AI is really stupid, because you can just sneak up on some. But in general, the overall presentation, it's really, I like it, to be very honest. It's very, oh shit, okay, see, that's the problem. Can I not kick you? I'd like to kick you. Kick you, shit, see, okay.
It's normal. That's normal. It's to be expected.
Okay, what I don't understand, I would like to have this actually big like this, and it doesn't work. I don't know why, to be very honest. I really don't know.
Huh.
And I'm going to die again.
We'll
But
figure it out. I mean, we just got started using this StreamYard.
yeah, but there's no other options than this one here, and I can't put this in foreground, to be honest. I can just remove from stage. And when I'm adding this one, oh, see, now this is actually exactly how I like it. See, why is it not doing this one?
I want to highlight a comment here. Isham says the game drops to 40 to 50 FPS, 40 to 50 FPS at native 4K on a 4090. Okay, so a 4090 cannot give you 60 FPS on this game. That's absolutely
crazy.
insane.
I mean, look, again, I found the first maybe 1 or 2 hours, or that's the region where I'm at the moment. I'm a little bit further, but I haven't found the next shrine or whatever to interact with, to save. That's where I am, and it runs pretty well, actually, on the Xbox so far, and PlayStation 5 as well. So I wouldn't complain at all. So, and I'm testing all the games in the very beginning with VRR, variable refresh rate off, to make sure that there is really no issue in terms of frame rate. And yeah, but you have your occasional frame drops, more often on the Xbox than on the PlayStation 5, absolutely. But still playable.
And what is the frame rate you're getting there? Like you're getting
60.
60?
Yeah.
No drops.
That's the performance mode at the moment.
And what do you think is the resolution? Like 1080p or?
Oh yeah, it's very low resolution. You can see this.
Very low. It looks. Does it look blurry on the Xbox?
Sometimes, but it's actually not too bad, to be very honest.
No.
Where's the focus?
How would you compare that with the Immortals of Avian or?
Oh, it's much better, this one.
The
Immortals of Avian
resolution
was
much better.
terrible. Yeah. See, I can't block here actually. The delay from the over-the-air card to capturing card right now is a little bit too much. Anyway, I would actually like to talk about HDR10 Plus gaming first.
Okay.
Because that's pretty interesting actually. But on the other hand, I have my because we have Dolby Vision gaming, and Dolby Vision gaming, in my opinion, is dead at the moment. There's nothing going on. So why should this be better? You tell me. Why should this be better?
So far, HDR10 Plus is gonna be NVIDIA GPUs only on the PC. So no consoles and no AMD so far. So, if it's going to be on NVIDIA, it should just work. Okay. But we have to see it.
Okay, but the game needs to be developed for this. So there is some additional work, of course, needed. And you need a screen for this. So very few screens, actually, monitors having HDR10 Plus support. And even, TVs, just the S95C, what I have here, is HDR10 Plus ready. But so far, just one game, I think, is announced.
Yes. Do you want to play the FOMO video?
Just hang on.
Maybe just watch a part. That's where I saw. I mean, I've been seeing HDR10 Plus news, but FOMO did an interview with a Samsung representative that specifically works on this. So it will be interesting to see that.
Okay, let me try this here. Because I'm an expert. Hang on. Can we do this here? Yeah, I'm very sure we can actually, somehow.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Top the FOMO HDR gamers. I just arrived to Samsung's top secret HDR gaming facility in Southern California. Today, we are going to get answers. Okay, I'm at a facility that you will never find anywhere on Google Maps.
So he met with Samsung.
Yeah.
FOMO, we talked about this. It's not a secret.
Okay, I'm at Samsung. This is not going to work, man.
So I'm Steve Larson with the Samsung Research America lab here. You may ask, why does HDR10 Plus care about HDR gaming? It's a movie standard. The games these days are getting more and more cinematic, and they're so realistic. Unfortunately, setting up an HDR game is complicated. So HDR10 Plus establishes that communication protocol between the display and the game.
And today's video is brought to you by...
Okay, so the problem what I'm having here, of course, is if this is becoming to be a standard, we are out of business.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna wait.
We're out of business, okay? That's a problem then, okay? So let me just, do we have anything? Let's just to jump to requirements.
It's out of the box. You don't need a PhD level understanding of how to calibrate a TV, how to set up a game, what the control is called from TV to TV, manufacturer. As soon as you connect it, you just get the optimum HDR gaming experience.
I want to dive into that a bit because what you just said about TV settings is so important. The one thing that a lot of gamers are always saying, and it's the creator's intent. But then the question is, well, how do we know what the creator's intent is? Because do I have to calibrate my TV? Do I need to know the white point of the TV? Does HDR10 Plus cut out that frustration and that confusion?
Absolutely. And another question I'd ask is, should I even care about...
Go back. I need to listen to this again.
Does HDR10 Plus cut know what the creator's intent is? Because do I have to calibrate my TV? Do I need to know the white point of the TV? Does HDR10 Plus cut out that frustration and that confusion?
Absolutely. And another...
Okay, that can't be right. Because if the TV is not properly calibrated, then it will just show what is going on the screen. HDR10 Plus will not change your calibration on the TV. Full stop. This is not possible. Because
not the white balance. The white balance, not for sure.
Yeah, because so this is so HDR10 Plus. We have already a couple of questions. So first of all, HDR10 Plus locked behind a license like Dolby Vision? No, it's not. It's a free standard. Everybody can use it. So Dolby Vision is requiring a license. But HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision are very similar in terms of the specs. There's probably in real no difference at all. The most important thing is dynamic metadata, which can bring you just a better experience, you know. But if you can see it at the end, that's the different story.
Yeah, so basically, here's what I believe could be. This is where I believe we could see a difference. And I have to say believe because I've never seen it. And Dolby Vision, I've never played any games in Dolby Vision. I have a PC. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dolby Vision logo on my TV, it has never happened. Like, I've never seen it literally. So, but I think that the difference could be, for example, if you have a scene that's just maybe too bright with HDRG, and the TV might not handle it the best way or something, maybe with Dolby Vision, it will tone map that a little bit more so you see the detail, the highlight detail, because it kind of knows what's the best way to tone map or something.
Yeah.
So you basically preserve the detail better. That's what I believe it could happen. If you compare HDRG with Dolby Vision or HDR10 Plus, the tone mapping would be more.
In my very beginning, early times, I compared Dolby Vision on a Halo Infinite with HDRG. And my even it's very hard to see on YouTube video, but my conclusion was that Dolby Vision shows slightly more details in specular highlights because it's more precise. And that's a big, the big but. You don't have time to look at the specular highlights when you're playing. You're just playing, so it's actually kind of worthless actually to put so much effort in, you know, because it's really just for if you have to look very closely. And that's actually, so to answer this question, what is the difference between HDR10 Plus and what is the other? I don't know. So HDR10 is the standard what we have since years. It's just a normal metadata which is counting for the whole time when the movie is playing or when you play the game. So HDR10 Plus or Dolby Vision can have for each frame a different information in terms of brightness, contrast, stuff like that. Okay, so which would give you, let's say you have a movie which is playing, have a lot of different scenarios, like a very bright scenario or very bright place and very dark place. Sometimes you end up that you can't see actually anything what is in the darker areas because the whole that's how the movie is mastered. With Dolby Vision or whatever, you would be able to actually just increase this on the go. You know what I mean? So it's quite simple to do. Well, you need to have some effort, of course, but it's possible with Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus. HDR10, on the other hand, has always the same brightness. You would need to, how should I say? I think you need to have external, or you need to actually what's the name? Color change the whole movie to actually make this a little bit better. So it's dynamic metadata versus static metadata. Okay, so
I think
that's the main.
I think it is safe to say, because people might think, oh, HDR10 Plus, that sounds like the TV is gonna look better because it supports HDR10 Plus. So 10 Plus means, a plus means better, not like it's actually better. So I think a good way to look at this would be, it can make the content look better, like preserve more the detail. But it's not like your TV itself is gonna be better because it has that, or it's gonna look better because it has that. It's not that it's gonna have more brightness or better, color saturation or something like that. But it can make the content look better, basically, like have more detail, preserve more detail and stuff. I think that's the safe way to. So people don't think, oh, HDR10 Plus, that means plus more nits, more capabilities on the image. Those the capabilities is gonna be about the same as regular HDR, but it can potentially make the content look better.
Yeah, it can, absolutely. So if it is done correctly, but you still will have, if they're messing up things like HDR black level arrays and stuff like that, it still can happen. And I tested this game back then, the beta, and it wasn't looking good. So I didn't tested it in HDR10 Plus, But if it's already looking not that great in HDR10, HDR10 Plus will not change it. But it was a beta, okay? It was a beta. Let's see how the final product. I will look into this for sure, because the first HDR10 Plus game, official, needs to be supported. But I'm not expecting too much, to be honest.
Yeah, so someone asked, hey, Plasma, when are you going to join the Special K Discord? Everybody's waiting for you. I have to do that. I haven't even installed Discord. I did it one time to communicate with Marcus, but I have to give it a try again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will do it. I
You
will
have
do it
to,
when I have
yeah.
a chance. Because definitely they're saying that all the creators, you know, Lilium, Pumbo, a lot of these you know,
Yeah, they're all in
developers
Discord, yeah.
that work on Reshape, they are there basically to answer some questions and maybe help me out. So I'll definitely do that.
And someone is avoiding Razu Govi. I don't know. What have you done?
What happened? Will
I don't know.
Sony PlayStation
Why are you
5
avoiding me? At
support?
least you could write back here. Okay, I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know.
Greetings from Netherlands. Greetings back. Or greetings from Argentina.
I wanted to say, and in no means this is like a criticism to this, you know, Samsung representative at all. Or, yeah, I mean, when I say something, it is about a big corporation. Like I will never like attack any individual or anything like that. But it is a little bit, how can I say this? You know, this Samsung representative, he's talking about HDR10 Plus and the games, and for some reason, maybe it was not intentional, he's showing Forza Horizon 5. Okay, that's not the perfect example of HDR, and he's not saying that it is. Okay, but Forza Horizon 5 on the PC specifically, who knows if he's using a PC or a game console, it looks too bright near black. Okay, it doesn't look good. Actually, I remember the video that you made was Xbox versus PC back in, like, I mean, it was like how many years ago? I don't remember. You mentioned that was the difference, basically, that they were looking different. And the PC was looking kind of more bright near black. It was looking different, and you can see the differences on the video a little bit. So, you know, if we have someone on Samsung working to get this working right on the games and stuff, and he believes that Forza Horizon 5 is perfect, like it is the example, it is not. Okay, so maybe we are the only ones who notice these problems. Maybe we are the only ones who notice that, you know, when the game looks too bright near black, or it has the black level raised, or the colors are a little bit washed out. Because I've seen many times people showcasing HDR on a new TV, even professionals, like we're seeing it here, and they showcase games that are not perfect, that they have black level rays and that they look washed out. And that's a problem, because if you are, you know, a professional trying to get this working so it is perfect, you should be able to see that, because it's very easy. I mean, I'm not a professional. I'm just playing games on a TV and, you know, using Reshape to see the graph and all that, and I can see those issues from a mile away. Okay, we can immediately, you know, you open Armor Core, you see, okay, this is how HDR is supposed to look like, no question about it. And yeah, it's something that surprised me when I saw that video. I'm like, he's showing Forza Horizon 5. That game is not perfect. He should know that. He should notice that. I'm not sure if it was on the Xbox, and maybe on the Xbox it does look different, like you show on the video.
There's a possibility, of course, yeah.
But yeah. So
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, yeah. And
yeah.
we have Lilium in the house. Hey, how are you, buddy? The HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision tone mappers have a few more parameters, which for movies are in the best case tuned by color grading people, or worst case automatically created. Yeah. So you can see if you have to put more effort in. That's why I'm very skeptical about HDR10 Plus gaming, because we can see that we have already Dolby Vision gaming, and to be very honest, nah, it's dead. there's nothing. And yeah, we have one native supported Dolby Vision game on the Xbox. That's it. One. Exactly one.
And let me ask you, when you tried this game, I haven't tried this game because I don't even have the HDR10 Plus option. Can you use HDR10 Plus, or
No,
that's
I
not
wasn't.
ready?
It wasn't ready. So there was no option, in my opinion, in the beta version for HDR10 Plus. So I used HDR and it looked absolutely washed out. Absolutely.
Really?
Terrible. Absolutely. Sorry to say this, but if this is great as intent, then it's again wrong. But that's why, I'm waiting. It's a beta version. Then, just wait. It's just a couple of days or weeks till this gets released, and then I will
But
have.
can you imagine? This is the game that is basically releasing a brand new, not releasing, but like showcasing HDR10 Plus gaming, and it looks washed out. Like, that's just incomprehensible. That's what I'm saying. That, like, no way. I mean, I just don't understand how that can happen. Like, if you are a professional working on this kind of stuff, you should be able to see clearly if the game looks washed out, because it's very obvious. Like, we are not like a special talent or anything like that. We're just looking at the game and comparing it with other examples.
Look, the same with Lords of the Fallen. I started the game and I thought, okay, HDR, and then maybe you saw my video. I was like, nah, this doesn't look that good, HDR in this game. But the more I played and the more I analyzed, actually, and I saw this one specific cave or whatever you call it. It's perfect in terms of contrast. It's just perfect. You go in there, you can see so many more details with HDR enabled compared to SDR, and it's so hard to show this actually on the screen. But when you look on a TV like this, you can. SDR is not good in this game compared to HDR because you have much more details. But also, I have the feeling, because you have more details, they're showing the fog and the mist much better, and this makes the game looking very washed out. But then you go to the levels to a different scenario or whatever, and it looks suddenly perfect. And then you go a little bit further and you think, don't like it. It's this changing where I can understand people. They're saying, oh, it doesn't look good, but the game reaches perfect, and I'm waiting for your analysis on the PC version. The game reaches 0. The black level flow is perfect at some point. You can test it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, if there is a scene, if there is even a single scene that looks perfect, that tells you that
can't be an issue with the game.
It cannot be an issue with the game. It could be, of course, a creative decision. I mean, at this point, we have experience with so many games, and we're laser focused on HDR. So I don't know about you, but now I played the games and I have the graph ready to click at the graph. So I'm like, I no longer just play the games. I am analyzing it, and I'm like, in every single way. So yeah, that can happen. Like, okay, this cave looks too bright and it should be a little bit darker. But yeah, that's creative intent. And also, but you mentioned that there was a VRR near, like, you noticed that with VRR, it was looking brighter near black than,
absolutely.
than without
I don't know if this is a issue just with the game, or I never experienced this. I don't know. But because of the where's my Xbox? Here's my Xbox. So why is my Xbox actually not showing? I don't get this, really.
Look, someone said, okay, go ahead, show that.
So when we go to the main menu, and by the way, the loading times on the Xbox version are longer than on the PlayStation 5 by a good amount, to be honest, because this takes just literally a couple of seconds on the PlayStation 5 jumping mix. So when we look at this on the right-hand side, you have very dark spots, which I don't know if this now looks washed out to you or whatever. So it is a little bit washed out. But what I found also, you have complete 0 black in this picture. Absolutely. So this is creator's intent, that a picture looks a little bit like mist, whatever fog. So as soon, and it was very simple actually to see this on the right-hand side. As soon as I enabled VRR, I had lifted blacks and I lost a lot of details because of this additional layer it's probably very hard to see here. You know, keep in mind, guys, we just streaming in 1080p. Okay, that's the maximum what we can do at the moment. So, and the problem was, you have this additional layer on top, and this is just, you lose a lot of fine details. The same what's happened with Starfield. As soon as you have this terrible layer on, and by the way, spoiler alert, I tested a new HDR unofficial patch or whatever from Lilium and Co. You know, they're working on this stuff, and it's going to be good. Going to be good. Anyway, as soon as I enabled VRR, I lost details, and the only a way to get it back, actually, details, was with the fine-tuned dark area settings. The contrast setting in the game doesn't help at all because you have this additional layer already on top, you know, so you can't do anything with the game. So this was something what I don't know if I experienced this before or not. I really don't know. It's just...
Yeah, someone said, when I commented on your video, someone said, this happens on the PC too, because I said, oh, that has to be a console problem. I've never noticed with VRR, you know, a difference near black gamma or something like that. And someone said, that happens on the PC too, like when it goes down. And I am testing right now like a near black test pattern. And I'm going back and forth, changing from 120 hertz to 23 hertz on my LGC1 to see if I can notice a difference in the brightness. And of course, if the difference is very subtle, it's gonna be almost impossible to detect because, you know, when you change the resolution, you get a black screen for a second, and you know, you forget. You would need to see the changes like right now, like boom, boom, like immediately. Yeah. But maybe I am seeing with 23 hertz, maybe, but it might be placebo effect. Maybe with 23 hertz, I see near black being brighter. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. I'm going back and forth. I'll give you maybe a conclusion in a moment. So that might be what's happening, that because the game frame rate might be lower, but not in the menu. In the menu, the frame rate is 60, no? Like there's no fluctuations.
Yeah, that's the first thing that's the first game I encountered this issue, and it's an issue for me. But maybe that's how it is with every game. Maybe. I don't know.
I think it's the same. I mean, I've been changing back and forth. I don't see a near black visibility changing with the hertz with VRR.
Yeah, and I have to admit I haven't tested this on my LGCX so far. So maybe it's just an issue with the G2, but you know. And there was a question: have I received the latest update for the CX? Yes, maybe yesterday. I don't know, where was it? Someone asked. Yes, I can't find this chat anymore. Yes, but I received the update now for the CX, and I will look into it. But so far, I haven't found any issue. As always, LG is quite good actually. I just actually updated also 2 days ago my S95C. Yes, I did it, and there's also no problem. So I think Samsung learned also about their mistakes, what they have done.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I checked the updates right now on my C1. There's no updates to do. Some people were telling me that there was an update circulating, but I don't see anything yet.
Yeah, it's always, yeah.
So the thing is, so you tested this game, which is supposed to showcase a brand new technology on HDR, and it's looking washed out, and that's just incomprehensible. I mean, especially if you are releasing a new technology, and everyone, like, there's like an extra layer of people checking out to make sure that it's actually good. It is just not acceptable if it's not perfect. Because also, here's the thing. I've been exploring on the PC many different ways to get auto HDR, to force native HDR on games that don't support native HDR. All these auto HDR tricks, you know, special K, reshade, all of that. There are so many ways to get an HDR effect. Let's call it like that. It's not real HDR, but that has perfect contrast. You know, perfect blacks. There's no washed out colors. There are so many ways. So I cannot understand if this is so easy to achieve. I just don't understand how we get game after game with black level raised and washed out colors, especially a game like this that is gonna release HDR10 plus and it's gonna be a big deal.
I
It
mean,
cannot
look,
happen.
yeah, I said that it was the beta version, so I'm just waiting for the final product, to make a conclusion, make a video, because back then I was actually thinking about to make a video. I said, oh, nah, it looks not good. Just wait until the final product and then let's give it a go. But
Okay.
yeah, on the other hand, I don't even know how to record HDR10 plus. It's not possible, probably. Anyway, it shouldn't be a big difference between HDR10 and HDR10 plus, to be very honest. Not for if you don't have a proper side-by-side comparison or whatever. It's not like day and night. So people forget about this, It's not like day and night.
Yeah, you need to know what to look for, or have two very good side-by-side pictures that are representative of the differences, basically.
Yeah. So Quad is just asking a quick question. Any thoughts on the Xbox Activision deal? To be honest, I have no thoughts. I don't know if this is good for gamers or bad for gamers. I mean, it's good for Xbox probably, but I don't know. Really, I have not an opinion.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't see how. Of course, they do see how that makes them money, but I don't see how that benefits them. I mean, because I just don't have an idea. If the games are still gonna be in all platforms, why would that make them money? Because it's gonna be on Game Pass. But I mean, the Battle Royale from Call of Duty is free to play. Just don't know. I don't understand how would that
I don't know.
make
I
them.
mean, look, I don't know, really. I don't know. To be honest, so still my opinion is that the Xbox Series X and Game Pass is great. It's really great, but the true story is also that PlayStation 5 has the better AAA games, in my opinion. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's why if anyone would ask me, if anyone has a powerful PC and ask me, hey, should I get an Xbox? I would say no, get a PlayStation 5. You have already a PC. There's no need.
Well, actually, I want to say this might happen. Okay, this might happen. I might be buying a PS5 soon, not for the channel, not for me, just as a gift. And I've been thinking, because I have to travel, and I'm not going to be traveling with the box, maybe. So if I have to take it out of the box anyway, I might make some PS5 videos before I give the gift. But then I would need to maybe peel. Like when you get the PS5 brand new, does it have like some things that you need to peel so it breathes in the back, or can you use it like brand new like that?
I can't remember. I don't think there was
something blocking the ventilation of the.
No, I don't think so. There was nothing.
Well, that might happen. That might happen. So yeah. So the reason why I bring that up is because if I'm going to gift a console to a kid, I'm buying a PS5. That's what I'm saying. And the reason why is because the kid likes Spider-Man, is gonna like Ratchet and Clank. Those are fantastic, spectacular games that are not about blood and murdering people, and they are looking amazing and running amazing. So yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man next week, Friday, huh?
Yeah,
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, I will do my very best on my HDR. I'm expecting a lot, of course, from this game, but we are not getting disappointed with this game for sure.
No. I mean, that's probably
maybe for the PC version, and in 1 or 2 years that HDR is broken or whatsoever. Was it ever fixed with the other Spider-Man game?
You know what? I am not sure if I was wrong. Maybe, but I mean, you also tested the Amazing Spider-Man at the beginning when it released. It was wrong.
It was wrong.
But I believe they fixed it.
Nits, huh?
I believe they fixed it because I tested it the other day and it was perfect.
Okay.
Maybe they fixed it. The Amazing Spider-Man and also Miles Morales, I tested it, perfect black floor, 0 blacks all the time. And the brightness slider, I don't remember. I think it was kind of messed up still. Like you needed to increase it more than what the number is telling you. Like if you need 800, you needed to increase it more or something like that.
Yeah.
But the contrast was okay in both The Amazing Spider-Man and Miles Morales. I'm not sure if they fixed it or if I was wrong.
No, there was something wrong with because I bought it on Steam, tested it for 2 hours, and then I, gave it back, saying, "Nah, I'm not keeping this."
Yeah.
No, there was something wrong. No, for sure. Nostra is asking, how are you guys doing? You're doing great.
Great.
Great. It's Sunday here. Tomorrow is work day again. Sunday here in Australia, okay? Can't looking for, oh my God. It's so much, I'm so struggling at the moment with time to do stuff, It's unbelievable, But that's how it is.
Someone said that try to just take two side-by-side pictures. I've tried to do that. It works for comparison in brightness. So for example, when I'm trying to determine which option is the brightest, dynamic tone mapping in terms of brightness, it's easy for the camera to show those differences. So you keep the same settings on your camera, you take two pictures.
Yeah.
But when you're taking pictures of near black, it's tough because it's very, very, very dim. So the camera to pick that up is almost impossible to pick everything up.
So at some point, maybe that's the next big buy. What I'm going to do is a new camera, but we're talking about maybe $5,000, for not even a really, really good one. You know what I mean? It's just better than what I'm having right now. But I'm happy with my camera at the moment, and because we're using now the HDR analyzer tool, so it's also much easier to show actually things. But it's always, and I hope the people understand this, but when you show something on YouTube, even you have actually a one-to-one recording, it's not the same. It will never be the same. What I can see on the screen sometimes in terms of colors and whatsoever, and then you try to record it, you set your cameras for 5 hours, and you just give up. You can't do the same thing. And that's the thing. You record something on your TV, and you set up the camera for the brightest screen for something bright, and then comes a dark scene and you can't see shit, And I don't want to use the auto option on the camera because it takes always a little bit time to adjust, and sometimes it's oversaturating and whatever. It's a big mess.
It's almost impossible to record. And also, I believe, I'm not sure, to record HDR, like to try to capture all the details, the cameras, they shoot on what they call log, which is basically something that you need to edit to get the colors
color edit later,
and everything. So basically the camera is not able to record everything as it is exactly, with...
No, it's not possible because it's just, especially with a near black or whatever, you get some noise in the picture, or that's just, you can't change it. And as soon you get noise, you can't see details anymore. So that's why it's very hard to show actually shadow details in games. That's why, it's just not possible.
Yeah.
Razugovi, with Elgato, I believe you can live stream in HDR10. I'm not quite sure about this, but I'm getting I ordered a new capturing card because I'm having issues with the Elgato. When I'm recording lossless, I don't know if it's the Elgato or something else, but when I'm recording lossless material with OBS, and that's the only program what I found so far which can really record lossless, and you need this for the frame testing. But I have so many issues. Sometimes the recording is perfect and you can do your FPS testing, and then sometimes after 5 minutes you can see stuttering started. And I don't know. I tried internal SSD, NVMs, and external SSD, even hard drives. It's always the same. The only thing what is left is actually the Elgato capturing card. That this makes some issues. Anyway.
Should we continue watching the video to see what he says? Because he touched on the video. He touched about FOMO. Basically, asked him, "Hey, isn't that what HGIG was supposed to do?"
Okay, just hang on.
So it is a good question to see answered, basically.
Let's have a look. Where are we?
It's basically this communication between the game and the display. Ideally, no matter which HDR format it is, ideally the game knows, oh, okay, you have a Samsung S95C. This is the amount of nits that we need for this display to look the best. Let's just have the game set up so it looks the best on your display. And on top of that, your display would change the settings to offer the best quality with that. So that's the idea here with HDR10 Plus, to have that communication.
Studios, do they even know you exist? Where are you guys in the process of creating HDR10 Plus games?
We're talking to everybody. The interest is definitely there.
The first HDR10 Plus
So can
title
everybody hear
is
the
The
sound
First
actually from the video?
Descendant by Nexon. But
Yes.
remember, HDR10 Plus gaming is only available for PC gaming on NVIDIA graphics cards.
And how does that compare to HGIG? Because that's the other big name in HDR gaming with a standard is HGIG.
But I have to stop here. So HDRG is not is not comparable with HDR10 Plus. That's a complete different story, because you would be able to use HDRG with HDR10 Plus as well. That's possible, absolutely, because HDR10 Plus is just displaying different information on the screen, or slightly different, but you can still use HDRG, which should capture this actually, or you know what I mean? I mean, HDR10 Plus should do what HDRG is doing, but it's not really a comparison in my opinion.
Yeah,
How do
but
you
I
compare
think
yourself
FOMO,
to
but
HGIG?
can you pause
Yeah.
it for a moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think what FOMO is
What's the
referring
HDR
is that
Plus?
basically he's saying, wasn't that what HDIG was supposed to do, which is
Yeah.
basically say, okay, your display is 800 nits, we're going to send 800 nits. Like, there's that communication, so you get the 800 nits you need for your HDIG to look the best. So he's just asking, hey, wasn't that what HDIG was supposed to do? And then you see his answer, basically.
Okay.
You know, get there.
Yeah, so to answer your first question, it's not a very tremendous ask. And really the beauty of it is, as soon as a game studio builds this into their game engine, every game built on that engine can benefit from it. So it's not like they need to tailor it game to game, you know, so they build it in their game engine. Every game they make on that engine has it. And that includes, you know, even off the shelf game engines. We're making plugins for, you know, the smaller studios that are, like you say, trying to get into HDR.
HDR10 Plus Gaming now has an official plugin available for the Unreal Engine Marketplace, free of charge, of course. So anyone developing an HDR game in Unreal can utilize HDR10 Plus Gaming.
If they're using an Unreal Engine, you know, they can still benefit from it in that regard. They don't have to, you know, have the engineering resources to build their own game engine.
Right.
So, and your second question about HDRG is fantastic. You know, a lot of what you'll see from the HDR10 Plus gaming standard is parallel with what you get with HDRG. We've taken it a few steps further. You know, we have a certification program with HDR10 Plus Gaming where the all the equipment in that chain needs to be certified to support HDR10 Plus Gaming, and so that guarantees a certain level of expectation. And then the game, you know, obviously builds it in to their engine, like we spoke about. So it's very similar to HGIG in that regard, but it's almost like a step forward a little bit.
No, we keep on mentioning the game engine, and we talked about this off camera a while back since CES. That's why I'm here. I was just so excited about this approach, which is I didn't realize that HDR10 Plus shifts the burden of the HDR tone mapping off the TV onto the game engine, in this case, PC gaming. And to me, doing that is genius because TV has limited processing and gaming is quite intense. And to ask the game or to ask the TV to tone map different scenes, you get image quality that's improved, but dynamic tone mapping might suck the life out of that processor. Are you saying that the game engine is doing all the work? The TV is pretty much doing what it does best, great image quality, but the game engine will do the tone mapping?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the biggest benefits of HDR10 Plus Gaming is it removes an extra layer of processing that was pretty much redundant. So the game engine is very powerful and it can really make an optimal HDR signal. It just needs to tell the TV, this is your optimal HDR signal. The TV goes into a perfectly calibrated mode so that it's correctly reproducing what's coming out of that game engine.
So we
But this is again with perfectly calibrated mode. I mean, look, I mean, over the time we will see better calibrated TVs. But if you have a shitty calibration on your TV, that's the TV what you will see. So HDR10 Plus will have advantages, but again, we need to wait if we actually getting more than one game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
what I
just-
mean, what he means is like perfectly calibrated for what the game is trying to output.
Probably, yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So
I
yeah, he's
really
not
hope that
going in.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say he's not going into like details to exactly how that works, because he's trying, maybe they're trying to target like the majority of people, so everyone understands like what's the idea behind this. And from what I can see, it seems like the difference between Dolby Vision and this HDR10 Plus is basically what he's saying. I mean, he's not talking about the difference, but he's saying that HDR10 Plus is the game engine, the game doing the tone mapping, basically the game guaranteeing that the signal that is being sent to the TV is the best the TV can get for that calibrated mode, which would be like HDIG, to get the best picture quality. So it looks the best with that mode that the TV has. And maybe Dolby Vision is doing the tone mapping, let's say details, the tone mapping specificities is doing that on the display instead of the source doing that, because a movie is not gonna do, it's not an engine, it's not something like. That's what I think is going on. Maybe the difference between HDR10 Plus and Dolby Vision, they are both dynamic metadata, but HDR10 Plus is gonna do the tone mapping from the source, and then Dolby Vision, it has more of the tone mapping from the TV, like the details on the tone mapping, depending on the specifications of the TV or how to best do the tone mapping to preserve the details and all that. I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But remember, I'm not an expert. It's just my understanding from what I've seen.
Yeah. Again, I mean, the best or the biggest advantage was HDR10 Plus has it's free of charge. Everybody can use it. So this will probably, it's a better thing than Dolby Vision because you need the bloody license. But on the other hand, LG OLED TVs doesn't support HDR10 Plus. So now we have no Dolby Vision gaming on the Samsung TVs. So it's always this, you know what I mean? It's why we can't have just one proper standard for everything and use it, and develop this standard or improve the standard, Now everybody's doing something else, It's unbelievable.
It is
But
funny
anyway.
how he says at the beginning that you're not gonna have to need a PhD to set up the the HDR settings. Because I mean, you do have to figure this stuff out to get the best experience. So yeah, it is worth it to learn how this thing works, just to make sure you get the best experience all the time. Because even once we have HDR10 Plus in the majority of games, let's say you do have an HDR10 Plus capable TV, you're still gonna have to play maybe an old game or something that's just messed up. So learning how to set it up is totally worth it.
I mean, look, still there will be. I'm very sure. So because in many games where we have actually, or in some games where we have the system level support, HDR system level support, we still have additional settings like brightness, contrast. Because some people, well, saturation, because some people like to change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fine. In the beginning, I was also like, we shouldn't have this. I mean, to be very honest, if a game supports the HDR system level calibration, there shouldn't be, in my opinion, maybe any sliders in the game, because everything should be fine. But then on the other hand, you have so many different TVs, monitors, and maybe one of the screen is displaying, you like to maybe raise a little bit the contrast and stuff like this. I can understand this. And we will never get away of this, because you will always have good out-of-the-box calibration TVs, and then you have bad. You know what I mean? That's how it is. But in general, HDR10 Plus Dolby Vision gaming should make it much easier, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should. But yeah. But I mean, the reason why I don't recommend Dolby Vision gaming actually on the LG OLED TVs is that the out-of-the-box calibration on the LG OLED TVs is just not good. You have a lifted EOTF curve compared to HDRG. It looks brighter, but it's not correct. Okay, so if you like it, go for it, but it's just not correct. I'm not recommending it at Dolby Vision Gaming. And there's anyway no difference between Dolby Vision Gaming and 99% of the games because it's not natively supported. So you will end up with HDR at the end, just a little bit brighter in the midtones. That's all.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying. Like, if the TV is perfectly calibrated, we shouldn't have any sliders on the game. Like, you would have HDR, the game supports system level calibration, or you just change the peak brightness slider and that's it. Because HDR is an absolute. So like you shouldn't have to adjust the visibility of the midtones or how bright the overall image is. Like, the brightness is the way it should be based on the creator's intent. Like, you don't have to determine how bright you want your game to look. It's an absolute. There shouldn't be any midpoint or white or anything to adjust. It should be perfect.
Yeah, Lilium, give it a try and let me know what you can do. Would be interesting to have a look on what he can mod in some games.
That would be great. So Lilium, so does that mean that you can get HDR10 Plus on any game on the PC? Is that what you mean? So the HDR10 Plus on Unreal Engine games, maybe?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Can you get this working with a Major Paint the Cactus? Can you get this Major Paint the Cactus with HDR10 Plus and then your inverse tone mapping or something like that? So we can get it working on most games. By the way, I open right now. I have open a Spider-Man Miles Morales with the Lilium's HDR analysis tool, and it's perfect. No black level rays. No black level rays. Perfect blacks everywhere, and the slider is actually doing what it's telling you. Like, if you set it to 800, it's 800. No issues whatsoever. Absolutely perfect. That's not what I saw. They have to update this thing because this is not what I saw. Okay. Like, I don't see any washed out colors. It looks absolutely perfect. It was not looking like that.
So Matt is saying HDR10 Plus should be similar to how Sony TVs works with the PlayStation 5, communicating display info and sending actual metadata. Yeah, I heard about this. I never had a Sony TV, or not a OLED TV or whatever, but they had actually, they communicated before this as well. Even, I think it was not even, you didn't need to have HDR. The PlayStation and Sony, they just talk to each other and set up everything correctly, or they try to do this, but I'm not quite sure if this is still working as it should be, to be very honest. But yeah, HDR10 Plus should be doing exactly what Dolby Vision Gaming is doing as well. Just communicate to each other and send the correct data, and you don't have to do anything. That's the plan.
And this is very important because, for example, let's say that you have a game like not Callisto Protocol. What was the name of this remaster remake? Dead Space. Dead Space. It was like 4,000 nits or 3,600, something like that.
Yeah.
And it didn't have settings on the game. So let's say you have a game like that without sliders. The problem with the majority of the TVs we have is that the TV is not receiving the metadata. So if you have one of these LG OLEDs, for example, you use tone mapping off, and the TV, because it's not receiving the metadata, it is going to default to a 4,000 nits tone curve. But let's say that the game doesn't have slider and it's trying to do 3,000 nits, then the best thing would be to do that tone mapping off, which is not tone mapping off. It is actually doing tone mapping. That option that says tone mapping off, it should be called dynamic tone mapping off because it is tone mapping. So then if the TV receives the metadata, like it happens with the internal apps. So if you use one of these LG OLEDs with the internal apps, let's say YouTube, and you open a video that's 3,000 nits, the TV is going to correctly change that tone curve to show you 3,000 nits the best way. Basically, it's going to do tone mapping with 3,000 nits. But that doesn't happen with games because the TV is not receiving the metadata. So that's why when you use tone mapping off on the games and you change from HDRG to tone mapping off, you always see that brightness difference because the tone mapping off is tone mapping 4,000 nits. But you could change that tone mapping off, for example, to 540 or 400 nits, and now that would be looking brighter than HDRG. Of course, you're gonna be clipping details if the max CLL is 800 or more, but that's what happens. So it is very important, basically, what I'm saying, that the TV receives the metadata. So what Matt was saying, that with Sony TVs, that actually happens. It is like that's how it should be for all TVs. Like they should receive the metadata. What's going on? What is the content trying to output? So the TV can change the tone mapping if it's necessary.
Yeah, we will see. I mean, in theory, it is a good technology, but the same counts for Dolby Vision gaming. And yeah, I have probably a little bit more. Yeah, I hope that HDR10 Plus is a little bit like gets more attention. Let's say like this, because it's free, because Nvidia is pushing, because maybe Samsung is also pushing, but because it's just what's happening with Dolby Vision gaming. There's no advertising, nothing. You know what I mean? There's nothing to announce. There's not even a new game coming out which supports native Dolby Vision gaming. So it's just a big disappointment, to be very honest. And Halo Infinite, in the very beginning when it was released, it had broken Dolby Vision gaming. It was broken. The only game which supports Dolby Vision gaming on the Xbox, it was broken for 6 months or whatever, until they fixed it. It's unbelievable. So that's my hopes are not very big, to be honest.
So maybe the first HDR10 Plus game has to look kind of broken. That's what you saw with this first Descendant.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
But it's so weird. It's just so, I don't understand how that can happen. Especially now, let's say that this the studios, they don't have like $30,000 to have a reference monitor or something like that. I mean, we have the Lilium shaders. You can use it. I mean, I just opened right now a Spider-Man Miles Morales. It took me like 2 minutes to set this up. I opened the HDR analysis tool. I don't have to look at the game or analyze anything. It's right there. The graph is telling me, okay, perfect blacks. This is the max CLL. Everything, the brightness of the midtones, everything. I can immediately tell if the HDR is perfect on the game or not without, getting into it. So these studios could do the same. Just use that and take a look at your HDR, see how it looks. If you see black level rays, that's just wrong. You have to change. They have to fix that, lower that. I don't know. It's crazy that we have this available.
I know. It's just funny, yeah. But anyway, now that's my I had so many comments on my video actually to Lords of the Fallen with washed out picture. So again, I'm waiting for your analysis on the PC, because maybe the PC version is different. There is a possibility. We have seen this many times that console HDR was different to the PC version. That's unfortunately that's how it is. So I never seen actually a difference between PlayStation and Xbox HDR. Never, to be very honest, because I mean, they're basically the same console, is more or less. You know what I mean? A little bit different, but there's not much difference anymore. So there shouldn't be a difference in terms of HDR. But PC version, yes, looking forward to it. And then, if you like the creator's intent, that's of course a different story. But yeah.
I'll definitely take a look at it. Maybe do a rant. I just don't want to be the next Angry Joe show. And I see myself, and I have fun. Like, I never get angry, really. When I test these games and look broken or the performance is bad, I never get angry. I just have fun with it. But if I am going to, just talk about this Unreal Engine games, I see myself making rants, man, because I understand the usefulness and how good is Unreal Engine, because probably we get more games thanks to Unreal Engine. Maybe it is cheaper to develop. I mean, it's more convenient.
It is for sure cheaper, yeah.
Yeah. So it is good because of that. We get more games, but on the other hand,
if you now compare, in-house engines like from Insomniac or whatever, then the Unreal Engine is not good, to be very honest. Because again, I compared. I mean, look, that's what I can just say Ratchet & Clank on the PlayStation 5 compared with a high-end thousands of dollars PC, the PlayStation 5 is pretty good. Pretty good. Bloody hell.
Yeah,
You know?
and the thing is, what I really don't understand, because some people might say, "Oh, you're just not. You need to look forward. You know, the technology needs to improve. The games are gonna look better." I understand that, but here's the thing: you can turn off ray tracing, so I don't have a problem with it. If you want to have, you know, your game with path tracing or whatever, no problem. If you think that playing at 30 to 40 FPS is better, and if it looks more realistic and lower the resolution to 1080p, go for it. I think that looks worse.
Yeah.
And yeah, even if the lighting is better or whatever. So I can turn that off. But the problem with this Unreal Engine 5 games is that you lower the settings too high. I was watching some performance videos. Lower the settings too high, and still you cannot get the FPS up. It's still like the difference in the FPS is almost insignificant. So there's no way you can get it to a playable performance. So if there was a way to basically eliminate these Unreal Engine 5 features that are killing the performance, I would be fine with it. You know, if you want to get sub 60 FPS with a 3080 at 1440p, that's your problem. See, but I don't want to play like that. So now my 3080 is a 1080p card and it looks kind of blurry to get 60 FPS. That's not a good experience. That's the problem I have with Unreal Engine, that you cannot, there's no way you can get that performance back. And it's terrible.
Yeah, that's the point. Chase Star Productions. Path tracing and proper HDR sounds like a match made in heaven. We just need the horsepower. Yeah. Maybe the RTX 6090 can deliver us 4K and over 60 FPS.
Yeah, I tried path tracing on Cyberpunk, and it looks good, but the problem is you have to lower the resolution too much. Even if you have a 4090, can you play DLSS quality with a 4090? Can you play DLSS quality, 120 FPS, no problem, with path tracing? 4K DLSS quality, I mean. No. So that's not good enough then. I'd much rather play 120
with
FPS.
4080 with everything turned on, and I think I ended up, was it 40 FPS with 4K?
Yeah.
Roughly. And when I fully agree, you change it to 1440p, and yes, you get then 70, 80 FPS, but the picture looks blurry. And then you decide, okay, you don't know, I don't like this I don't need this ray tracing because I need 4K and higher frame rate.
Yeah.
And that's why I settled then with a different settings for Cyberpunk. So ray tracing, it looks really good. I'm not saying it doesn't look good, but we don't have the power. Yeah. And the same for Forza 8, the new racing game. The RT mode in Forza, it's sorry to say, it's a joke. The RT mode on the console is a joke because you lose I think 400p resolution, something like that. I can't remember, but it's visible. Okay, between the normal performance mode and performance RT, I can see the difference in terms of resolution. And then when you compare this with Gran Turismo, which has a 4K resolution native, you think like, okay, that's not nice. Okay, and the ray tracing effects are there's almost nothing. Because all what the people see on the hood from the car in the very beginning, I was also thinking, oh, this is ray tracing. No, that's just screen space reflection. It's not ray tracing. So you have a little bit of ray tracing on the cars, but this costs so much power that you have to reduce the resolution like crazy. And I don't like it.
Yeah, for racing games, I think what they use is I saw this on a video. I don't remember if it was Digital Foundry or which channel. It's like an object that reflects the world is on the car. Basically, it's like a sphere reflecting the world. I don't know if that's called a cube map. I forgot how that's called, but it works very well for racing games. That's what they use. And I wanted to mention the difference I saw in your video between Forza and Gran Turismo. The biggest difference, in my opinion, was the color grading. Basically, Gran Turismo looks more, it pops more, the colors are more trying to impress you. And I especially like the nighttime on Gran Turismo. It looks very good. It looks so nice. The way it looks dark, but it looks deep. See, it doesn't look like dark and kind of washed out and stuff. And not that Forza looks washed out, but the color grading basically on Gran Turismo just looks better. So a game looks, if you want to make your game look great, get those colors looking really nice, get the resolution and the frame rate as high as possible.
Yeah.
Eliminate stutters and all of that. And then, okay, that's the way if I was a developer, and I'm not, or if I was the head of any of these studios, I would say, color grading, HDR, performance, and resolution, that's a must. Okay, we have to guarantee this level of performance. Now, use all the talent you have and try to make the game look as good as possible. See, but you cannot sacrifice this. This is a must. Okay, don't touch this. So if we have to eliminate trees on the distance, or just completely, or reduce this or that, make any compromises just to make sure that that's preserved, because at the end of the day, when you're playing the game, that's what's really gonna make a difference. That sharpness, the frame rate, the performance, the fluidity. So never just to get a little bit more of whatever, you're gonna make the game stutter or lose like 40 frames per second for no reason. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense.
Nah, because you're talking about fidelity, and then you, in the same sentence, you have 30 FPS. It doesn't. I don't get this fidelity mode 30 FPS. No, it's wrong in my opinion.
Yeah, they have to eliminate that 30 FPS from completely.
Yeah. No, with the PlayStation 6, we will also see 30 FPS games, because then we're pushing 8K resolution. And past racing, yeah, probably, and stuff like that. It's just too much, it's just too much, But anyway, I mean, look, I can't go back from 120 FPS when you play a game on the. That's my Armored Core. I bought it on the PC, and I played it on the PC. It's 4080 is still not powerful enough with full details and 120 FPS all the time, but it's very close. You know what I mean? And then you go back to console, where you have a lower resolution and just 60 FPS, you think, oh my God, no, I like this 120 FPS. I love it.
Absolutely. I want to highlight this comment from Quad. Unreal Engine 5 is pushing upscaling and frame generation in order to be playable. That's a big problem, man, because upscaling and frame generation should be to crush FPS, not to get bare minimum level of performance.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
So it's like, maybe these developers are like, you know what, we messed it up, but if you use upscaling and frame generation, you can get like 70, 80 frames per second or something like that, and that's just not good enough, man. That's just not good.
Yeah, I fully agree. And the lower the frame rate, the more artifacts you get and the more issues you have. And then you have input lag and stuff like that. It's not a good thing. You need a high frame rate already. Minimum is 60 FPS, and then you can use frame generation and stuff like that.
And also
then you have a better experience.
And the upscaling also gets better with higher frame rate. And I've seen it, for example, in Cyberpunk. If you get 120 FPS, even if you are using DLSS performance, that looks better than if you get just like 60 with ray tracing. Let's say you have to use DLSS performance to use ray tracing, you're getting like 60 frames per second. In terms of the sharpness of the image, that's gonna look worse than if you turn off ray tracing, you get like 120 with DLSS performance. It looks significantly better. I've compared that, and the higher the frame rate is just the best. And these techniques are to crush FPS, not to get 60 to get like.
Yeah, I know. I fully agree with you. That's why we need to be careful with FSR2 as well, or FSR3 as well, because it will not good enough here. The bloody delay on this bloody cam, it's not good enough. I can't do blocking here, because you have probably not a second delay when I'm looking at the screen here at the moment. Maybe half a second delay. It's just too much to do proper. Yeah, this was good.
I wanted to highlight this comment. Someone says, hey, I'm a Samsung guy, but I love your channel, Ariel. I've recommended Samsung TVs on the channel a lot because people people, especially when people tell me, "Hey, I'm gonna play on the console 30 FPS. What would you recommend?" And I'm like, definitely not the LG to play with interpolation, just because the input lag is too bad. And regardless of the quality you can get with the Samsung, Game Motion Plus at 30 FPS, because you made a video about it, you didn't like it too much at 30, but it is still a lot lower latency than the LG. So I've recommended the Samsungs because of that. And depending on what people tell me, I say, hey, just go for QD OLED. I don't care, because I have an LG. I'm like, I don't care. Like, if I think something is better, based on what you're telling me, I'm gonna recommend whichever brand like I think is is more appropriate based on the information I've been given. Like, I don't have all the TVs here, but I've seen them on the store and I watched some videos. So I can give you my
The
opinion about it.
S95C is a great gaming TV. So the only reason why I'm still using the LG OLED TV as my main screen for doing all my editing and whatever is because there's a big difference actually in terms of the how letters and what was the right name? Because of how the pixel structure is on the QD OLED TVs, you have very, it's not sharp. Text is not sharp. The smaller the text gets, it's very unsharp. Absolutely. And that's why I don't like it. So so here, the LCD screen in terms of text, perfect, perfect. Then you have the LG OLED TV, which is very close to LCD. But then when you use this on the QD OLED TV, it's terrible. You have to increase the text size to actually have a sharp text. So there's no problem for video games because the text size is always like this, no problem at all. But you have this dithering or whatever you call. You can see double edges on whatever.
I call it color fringing or something
yes,
like that.
Color fringing. That's the right word. It's not nice, not nice at all. That's why I decided not to use the S95C as my main monitor. As a TV, gaming for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, doesn't matter. Just for gaming, perfect. Really, really nice because great colors, much brighter than, of course, than the LG G2 what I have. And in terms of panel uniformity, much, much better than the G2. Much better. But that's the only reason. That's why I'm thinking about maybe to change my layout a little bit, that I can use the QD OLED TV for testing and plus having a proper LCD screen for editing, because it's just not nice to... Nah. Anyway, that's just my take on this one. Anyway, I like the design actually in Lords of the Fallen. Now, I don't want to spoil it too much because Ariel hasn't played it. But
yeah, I want to play the game really bad, man. And that's the thing. I wanted to play Remnant also. Like, I beat the first game, Remnant. I beat the first Lords of the Fallen. Those are the kind of games that I like. I really wanted to play this game. So I don't get upset. Like I said, I don't get upset. But I do get like, man, it sucks. Like, why are you doing this? Why? Give me performance. I can enjoy the game. It just doesn't make any sense to do what they're doing, trying to like again, you lower the settings, you cannot get that performance. And usually Unreal Engine games, I'm talking about Unreal Engine 4 games. I mean, take a look at Lies of P. Lies of P runs like a dream. Okay, it's just so much better experience. It looks great. It looks great. Same engine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why? So give me an option to make this game look like that, okay, and get that performance. Let me turn off that lighting or whatever is making the frame rate, the game so demanding. Let me turn that off. I know that the engine can run well because we've seen it. It's just the way they are deciding to use it. And most people don't have like a 4080 or 3080. I mean, most people have a lower spec. So what is the experience for those people to play that game? Which is terrible. Gonna run very bad. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I really like these games, and I've been looking forward to this Lords of the Fallen for a while. And it's disappointing. I mean, my game of the year so far is Lies of P, because of the games that I like. Okay, my favorite games. For me, that is right now top 10 games ever in my list. One of the best games, definitely one of the best Souls-like games. And I was thinking, maybe Lords of the Fallen is gonna be better than Lies of P. I cannot talk about the game. I need to play the game, but just in terms of performance and how the game looks and feels, yeah.
No, I like this. I like the level design, to be honest. I like the design. I really like it. Oops.
Yeah, it looks
I
good.
die a lot. That's the problem, and that's why I don't like it.
You know what you have to do? Don't attack the enemy. It's what I
Yeah,
was
what
telling you.
should I do? You know what I mean?
So the way you learn, I mean, that's what I do. Everyone has their own like a
attack the
strategy.
enemies. Okay, you know what? Let's just run.
Look at them. So what you have to do is look at the enemy and survive their attacks. So you learn what they do. See, you need to learn them basically. If you try to run past them or attack to kill them, you might kill one or two, but then they're gonna catch up.
Of course they do.
You know, one
I
of
mean,
the
it's
most
you know, I understand. I like this. I played the very first time when I played Demon Souls or Dark Souls. I can't actually remember which one first. When I played this the first, I was never here. See, I was never here because I try to. What's this? But there's nothing. Oh, here. Shit! Someone's coming behind me. Let's go there. You know, when I played this the first time, I actually destroyed a PlayStation 3 controller back then. Yeah, because of this game. Because of Dark Souls or Demon Souls. Because the thing was, I killed one of the boss. You know, I killed one of the boss, and then you can. It's always an online, always on online game, and they can join and whatever, and they can also join with this Dark Reaper or whatsoever, and can try to kill you.
Yeah.
And then I killed this boss, and then this bloody boss, sorry, came and killed me, and I just smashed my gamepad on the wall. I was so tired, and since then I never played with online. What you had to do is because the game actually was asking for online when you started the game. It was always online, but then you can start the game, go to the PlayStation menu, and disable Wi-Fi, and then
you can play offline.
Yeah, so I was never here. I will die here now. It's very hard, really, to play. Who is this?
I really like these games. You know which one is the most difficult, in my opinion? There's a game called Thymesia. It's like THY, Thymesia. That game is
not
tough.
sure if I played this.
That game is like Sekiro, like it is parry based,
yeah.
and you need to parry everything. Like every single attack that the enemy does at you, you need to parry it. So we're talking about, 5-7 successful parries, one after the other, just to beat a normal enemy. It's not one time that you need to parry. Like in Lies of P, you might do a parry. Like it is all the time parry, and it's like punishingly difficult. You might be fighting with a normal enemy for many times, trying again and again. At least me.
So shit, where's the next thing where I can rest? Bloody hell.
So give that a try. But yeah, after a while, you get good at these games because you realize what you have to do. Basically, just pay attention, look at the enemy, and don't spam the attack button. Basically, you see what they do. Try to block on time. See, don't do that. Like you see, okay, you think that you win there. Oh, I killed the enemy. No, you didn't win because you didn't see what that enemy does. And maybe you're gonna find 3 of them, and then you don't know what they do. See, so you need to take these games. They give you the chance to learn by showing you an enemy for the first time alone. See, so you need to use that opportunity to learn instead of to.
Come on, guys, really? I can't see anything. Shit, where I am? Here I am. Okay, that's it. I'm going.
And that's the other thing. You can always go back and see if they follow you. Then you kill them one by one or something like that. You don't need to.
I'll see. What is going on now? No! Don't kill me.
Yeah, you're doing it well. Yeah.
Again, it's very hard because
you played.
I can feel the delay when I'm playing. Anyway, I really like to continue this game, but there's so many other games that I like to continue. Anyway, Any last wishes, guys? Great chat so far. Great talk, actually. So I'm looking forward for HDR10, of course. So when are they releasing actually the first Descendant, not the last, the first? Let me just quickly check Steam here, because I think it's just on Steam, or maybe on Unreal as well, Epic Store as well. And just have a quick look on Steam.
Yeah, I want to comment on this. Basically, someone says Lies of P is just Unreal Engine 4, Lords of the Fallen, Unreal Engine 5. So more features. Exactly, that's my point. Unreal Engine 5
really
features
but it
are
really
nice.
doesn't look better, you know.
Oh,
I mean, maybe, but
here's the thing. Let me turn that off. Okay, that's
Yeah.
very nice. Okay, my look. Okay, whatever. Better draw distance, better lighting. Very nice. As nice as ray tracing. Let me turn it off and get the performance I want. See, that's the problem. The thing is, I believe it makes it easier for the developers to just turn a button that is going to do the lighting for you, so you don't have to manually place shadows or do like baked lighting or something like that. It makes it easier to develop, but then the performance is trash. Okay, they have to, I'm sorry, they still have to go the old way, so I can turn off that new thing and get the frame rate that I want. That's what I want, basically. It's as simple as that. Just work a little bit more so I can turn off those new features.
Oh my God, we have to wait a long time for this. Before the end of February 2024. Oh my goodness. Okay.
For the first Descendant?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, that's why I was not, when I played this beta version, this was probably more to test server stuff and stuff like that, I was not. Gameplay was fine. It was like I think it was like Gears of War stuff kind and whatever things. Not too bad. Yeah, Lies of P is also not. I like this type more. This setting here actually better. Settings like this, and it looks like it looks absolutely like a Demon Souls, Dark Souls game, in my opinion. But the same frustration.
Yeah, it seems that that's what we're gonna get. We can keep, complaining about it, but I see even I saw a review of Lords of the Fallen from IGN, which they usually don't talk too much about performance or anything like that, and they complain about the performance. They said that even with the 4090 and the top of the line, PC with CPU and all that, it was stuttering, and the performance was not good enough. Even IGN said that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not me or you and me just being picky about it.
I mean, look, again, I don't have the PC version. Just struggling with the delay here, and I just give up for now. And but if I would continue playing, I would probably doing on the PlayStation 5. First of all, loading times are much better or faster, and then I just like the controller better. In terms of graphical or whatever, I couldn't find a big difference so far. They are a little bit more stuttering on the Xbox, but it's so minor. It's not a game changer, to be honest.
And that is so weird that most games are performing better on the PS5. I mean, it's not like a console war thing. The Xbox is supposed to be better. I mean, it has a more powerful chip than the PS5.
I don't know. Sometimes, you have really the feeling that some developers are pushing PlayStation 5 or whatever. I don't know. Because on the paper, it would be the same when you have okay, but it would be more or less the same if you have a 4090 and a 4080 and all the games looking and running better on a 4080. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make much sense. I tested HDR and Assassin's Creed Mirage, and it's okay, but not good. Like all the Assassin's Creed games, I really need to use dynamic tone mapping on for this game to get our picture brightness. HDRG is just absolutely dull.
I saw your video, and I think that's like sRGB. Did you test it on the PC or only on the console?
No, PC as well.
PC, and it also has color fringing. No, it has a chromatic aberration force.
You can't turn it off. It's terrible in this game. Absolutely terrible.
I don't know why Ubisoft does that with Far Cry 6 and this game. It just looks
I know.
so bad, and it is unacceptable to not let you turn that off because it makes the image blurry for no reason,
Correct.
and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get this color chromatic aberration. It
Yeah, I
looks,
don't like
looks
it
very
either.
bad.
That's all the time. That's also the so just to show you this here actually. When you go to settings here, we have actually here. No, sorry, where was it? Sorry, graphics. Where is it? Ah, this one here. So we have motion blur, film grain, chroma. You can turn off everything off, and I've done this. You know, that's how it should be like. You know, if you don't like this stuff, I don't know why film grain is actually even an option and chroma. You know, motion blur I can understand, but why is film grain and chromatic aberration an option actually? Why is this actually in?
You know, I
Yeah.
analyzed a movie, Avatar, with the MPB player and the Lilium HDR analysis tool,
Yeah.
and the black floor of Avatar was film grain. That was the black floor. So there was a distance between the
Okay.
black floor and the actual movie. So there was film grain, then a space blank, and then the information of the movie race, basically. It's just terrible looking. Absolutely terrible. I just
Yeah.
don't understand why they think that's
I just have to. I was in the cinema just the other day. Maybe
alright.
the last time I was in the cinema in the movies. You know, maybe I don't know 3, 4, 5 years ago. And this was before I actually had my TVs here, my setup and whatsoever. And I was in this movie and cinema, and I was like, bloody hell, this is a terrible picture
The
quality.
picture is terrible.
Oh my
Absolutely
god, is this
terrible.
terrible? Really, the sound is good, but the
Sound
picture
is
quality.
amazing.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I
The
was like,
last
this
time
is. Nah.
the last time I watched one of these Star Wars movies,
Yeah.
it was like a huge screen. The picture quality was horrendous. I mean, I'm talking about sub 1080p level of sharpness, and the black levels just trash.
There's no black level. There is no black level. It starts from gray to something.
But the audio was
Oh.
insane. The quality of the audio was incredible.
If they have Dolby Atmos or whatsoever, it's really great. Yeah. I admit on that, but you know, they're always picture quality and sound goes together. You know.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I was gonna say that this Assassin's Creed Mirage HDR on the PC, I think at least the Valhalla was sCRGB. So you know, I have to read what is sCRGB. This is just an HDR format, but I want to know if it is normal for sCRGB to just have you know, SDR colors, like just everything's Rec 709. You see it on the game on Cyberpunk. You test it on your video. sCRGB, you have SDR colors. You change it to HDR10. You get your DCI-P3, your BT2020. I want to see if that's expected. Like if sCRGB is just supposed to be SDR colors out of HDR, and if it is like technically inferior, I don't see why. With Reshade, with Special K, which is this modding tool for the PC, you can get auto HDR with sCRGB, and it looks colorful. Like you do get HDR colors, but I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be or what's going on with that. So Assassin's Creed Mirage, I think it might be just sCRGB. Do you test it with the Lilium shaders? What do you have to input on the HDR analysis tool? You didn't have to input anything?
No, I didn't test anything in terms of.
Oh, you didn't test it on the PC?
No, I tested. You mean Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, Mirage. Yeah, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I tested it, but I just tested it in terms of there is no option for sCRGB.
No, it's just the way it is.
No,
It's
just the way it is, you know. And no, I didn't test anything in terms of changing the picture whatsoever. I just analyzed how the picture looks like.
I would like you to test one of these days this reshade mod to force HDR10 that I talked to you last time. It's called Major Paint the Cactus. This looks amazing with Liliums. Okay, Lilium says apparently sCRGB in Cyberpunk versus HDR10 are the same. It is just rounding errors in HDR10. But the thing is, in Cyberpunk, when you use sRGB, the colors are clamped to Rec 709.
Mm.
You don't get like DCI-P3 or BT2020. It looks the same in terms of the gamma. It looks exactly the same, but it is less colorful.
See, I played Assassin's Creed Mirage on C1 with max brightness and still need to increase exposure to 1. So when we talk about HDR, that's the problem then, because as soon you increase the exposure, and I show you this in the video, you lift the black level floor.
Yeah.
That's why I actually recommended don't touch this and just use dynamic tone mapping on, because I know it's also wrong, but at least you leave the black level floor where it is. You know,
No.
you just have the midtones bright and whatsoever. It does make it better.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's the way to go. Dynamic tone mapping is gonna fix that. Try this Major Paint the Cactus mod for Mirage. I promise you, it's very easy to set up. You download from GitHub this Major Paint the Cactus folder, and all you have to do is copy that folder to the game folder where the game is installed, and do the same install reshade with your Lilium shader. And then when you have to install, the difference is that you have to install the reshade that has full add-on support instead of a regular reshade. There is another reshade that you download with full add-on support.
Yes.
And then you go to the add-ons tab and you enable that. Then you have to restart the game. And then when you turn that on, it's called Auto HDR, but it's HDR10 from the engine. It forces HDR10 from the engine. So it calls an HDR10 swap chain or whatever it is. And this is sometimes even 10 bits. So you do get higher quality. It's not like 8 bits auto HDR conversion. Sometimes you do get 10 bits. And the reason why I know that is because when you look at the HDR analysis tool, the graph looks like native HDR. It doesn't look like, sometimes you see that it is broken. It has like horizontal lines with a space in between.
Yeah.
Because that's because of 8 bits. So it looks like HDR10. And then the only thing you have to do is to tone map, because it's 10,000 nits. Use the Lilium's inverse tone mapping. And all you have to just click on that Lilium's inverse tone mapping, and you input the brightness that you want. If you want 1,000 nits or whatever, that's it. It looks like the best HDR you've ever seen. It's just so amazing. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla, for example, you do that, and the difference between the native HDR on Assassin's Creed Valhalla and this, it's just night and day. It's just like not even close. Not a fair comparison. So try it. I wanted to make a video about this because you are very good at putting this information out there to make it more visible, more simpler. What I do sometimes, I'm in front of the TV and I tell you do this and that, but you can show it better because you edit the video, so you can show the PC, or the way you do it is easier to see for most people. And that would be great, because I think this is an option that looks great, and it works for so many games. It works for almost all Unreal Engine games, to not say all of them. It works for some Ubisoft engines, like the Snowdrop engine. So it works for the Division 1, which doesn't support native HDR. So yeah, it works for many games. Like Neo 1, that doesn't have an HDR, native HDR either. It works. So it is great. So great looking. Oh, okay. Why is it superior?
I need
why
to
is
look
superior?
into this. I just know that Microsoft created this at some point to have some compatibility or better compatibility to SDR and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just, another standard, which confuses probably. But anyway, what I found in the Crew Motorfest, was it the Crew Motorfest? sRGB was actually not as good as HDR10 in terms of colors. Was it the Crew Motorfest? I can't remember. Because there was an option on the PC where you can change it actually. Higher bitrate. Yeah, bitrate. That's the thing. But so you get you can have less. Oh, what's the name? Bloody hell! When you have, what's the name when you have this bloody stripes on the horizon?
Color banding.
Oh, color banding. Yes, my goodness, hey, bloody hell! I need more sleep, really. Anyway, yeah, that's of course good. That's of course good. If you have a higher bit depth, then you have probably less banding and stuff like this, or possible, you know.
But
But-
can you, Lilium, can you give me like an example of a game that has both HDR10 and sCRGB, where sCRGB looks better? Like,
That's a
I've
good
never
question.
seen that.
What about so Cyberpunk looks the same, or yeah, that's what
It
I
looks
found.
the same, but HDR10 is more colorful. Like you showed that on your video, like sCRGB.
There was
The
no
color
color, no deep.
Rec 709 colors.
But I don't know if this is just because of the game, or they're not just using the full potential of sCRGB. You know,
Not for sure. It's like they're just messed up.
Yeah.
But I thought HDR10 was better because of that.
Yeah,
yeah. If sCRGB
and I'm
has
very
a,
sure I found the same with the Crew Motorfest, where I just said HDR10 was just showing more colors, and actually the Crew Motorfest is actually showing a lot of BT 2020 colors. You know, that's really
Okay.
good. Not all the time in all the levels or whatsoever, but in the very beginning, where you have this very powerful night track, it's a lot of BT 2020 color.
with HDR10, but not with sCRGB.
I can't remember. There was a difference with sCRGB and HDR10. Yes, absolutely.
So
I need to watch
HDR10
the
was
video.
better.
HDR10 was better, yeah.
That's what I see.
But probably that's just the implementation, how they do it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just like I don't know how they actually, because if there's a different standard, you need to adapt the standard to show the best possibilities, or to show the best outcome. And maybe they're just putting this in, like copy and paste, and that's it. Yeah, no option to choose. You know.
Let me ask Lilium here, because Lilium says, yeah, sCRGB is not easy to use unless you understand, but developers should be smart enough to do that. Let me ask you, man, can you apply for a job at one of these companies, maybe NVIDIA or something, so they can, implement your shaders or what you know on the games or something like that, so we can maybe fix this from the drivers or something? Like, I mean, if you know all this stuff, I mean, that's why I want you to see how this looks, Marcus, because here's the thing. This major Paint the Cactus mod by itself, it looks wild. It looks very, 10,000 nits, overly saturated, is terrible. When you use these Lilium's inverse tone mapping, it's like perfect. Like one click is just, wow. You don't see like overly saturated colors that look incorrect. We're talking about perfect blacks, perfect contrast, as bright as your TV can get, no crushing, no highlight, no clipping. It's perfect.
It's just one click.
One click.
What I'm talking then in my video for 8, 9, 10 minutes.
No, you have to explain, of course, how to install, reshade, how to get the Lilium shaders, the major Paint the Cactus, and share, it works for the Unreal Engine games, like showing a good example where you see it. The defects you can see with this thing is you can see some color banding on games that do not activate this 10 bits swap chain or something like that. They are basically 8 bits, and you see it on the graph. The lines are kind of segmented, but the color banding, sometimes it's not a deal breaker. It looks very, very good, but yeah, sometimes you get color banding. But there is a reshade, a shader that is called D-band, that does the same thing and even better than what these TVs do with a smooth gradation. You can basically get a smooth gradation with this D-band shader, and you can regulate the intensity of that effect. So you basically remove that color banding, but of course, along with that, you might be losing some fine details by doing that. The same happens with the TVs. When you use an aggressive,
of course you will lose details.
You lose some details.
Yeah.
But if the color banding is very ugly, it might be worth it. You can regulate the intensity, basically.
Yeah, now there's a lot of in terms of PC, I'm not up to date, because it's it's just too much time what you have to spend. Day has just 24 hours. That's the problem. That's a big problem. I try not to sleep anymore, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, so Lilium says that there is nothing you can do from the driver's side to fix things. But maybe just go to, I don't know, Ubisoft. I mean, Ubisoft sometimes they do a good job with HDR. Sometimes they messed it up. It depends on the on the studio, I guess. But yeah, man, it's just incomprehensible that we just get this mess for no reason.
Yeah. So Gerhard Fraser is asking serious question: do you prefer accurate picture or vibrant picture playing games? I prefer accurate picture, because if then a game is vibrant, then that's up to the game.
Yeah, here's the thing, and I have experimented with the TV settings to get more colors, because I know people like a more colorful picture. But what happens when you increase the color saturation is that you make most of the things look the same, basically. Like everything that's red is gonna be as red as it can be, and then you lose that distinction. When you are on HDR, for example, on these LG TVs, the color red is clipping already. So you cannot get more color saturation. The color red is already clipping. Like if you increase the color depth, you're not getting a more colorful picture. You're just making all the reds look more similar and more the same.
Yeah, you lose the difference there.
It's clipping.
Yeah, it's
like
clipping.
when you open, I have a video here that's like a red color clipping for HDR video, and you see that the red, for example, with HGIG, ideally you should see before 800 nits, you should be the red, flashing, like you see a distinction up to 800 nits. That doesn't happen. You see it like up to 520, 530. So when it should be clipping at up to 800, it's already at like at 500, 530. So if you keep increasing the color saturation, that goes down and down and down, and you don't get a higher color saturation. That's the thing. You don't. You just make all the reds look the same. So basically, my point is that your TV is going to look as saturated as it can look. You cannot get more performance by increasing the color saturation. It doesn't happen.
So and that's the thing. So when I compare my S95C with the LG OLED TV, and it's so easy to spot actually when you open the internal Netflix app, because there's this big red N, and you have this big red N on the LG, and then open this on the S95C and say, oh bloody hell, this is a nice red. This is a really nice, good looking red, because when you look at the color clipping chart, compare the OLED, the WRGB OLED with the QD OLED, oh my goodness, it's a big difference.
Big difference. You know how I see the difference myself with my cell phone screen? I have a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which has ferocious colors. I'm talking about my LG C1 looks monochrome in comparison. When I open this video, that is color clipping test pattern on HDR, which has all the the primary colors flashing, so you see the clipping, all that stuff. It's just ferocious. I'm talking about the LG C1 looks like, when I look at the phone screen and the TV, it's like, wow. We're not talking about 2 times better. We're talking about, I don't know, 5, 7 times better, something like that. It's huge. And so I was like, man, when are we gonna get a TV? I'm not sure if I compare this with a QD OLED. I'm sure the QD OLED is gonna be a lot closer than that. Especially if you open on the G2 this color clipping test pattern I'm talking about. I mean, any color clipping test pattern, the difference is just monumental. It should be very, very obvious a difference, QD OLED versus WRGB OLED. But I was wondering, when are we gonna get a TV with this kind of color, power, this vibrancy that we have on the phones? That's gonna be nuts. Especially with a bigger size, because the phone has a very small screen with a big size.
No, but that's fine. That's fine. Now there's I'm happy with my LG OLED TV still. With the game setting, what you have, it's just great. Fine-tune dark area setting is just perfect. That's what we need more than ever. Okay. So any last wishes? Because almost 2 hours stream. I think that's enough. I'm getting very hungry actually.
Yeah, I just wish that HDR10 actually works and is good for gamers. I don't think it's gonna get us out of
It will
business
work.
because
It's working in Wrath of the Fallen. I'm waiting for your analysis to the PC version because I was actually thinking about maybe I should get it on the PC as well. But it's just too much money to spend, you know. Anyway, if I was actually expecting to do a performance test video, you know, to get maybe to make it worse to buy the PlayStation 5 and Xbox version. But right now I just did my HDR analyze video and performance has to, I don't know, it will not happen with this video, with this game, because I'm still here on this level. I'm still here and it's running perfect here. There's no problem, you know what I mean? It's just running. It's fine. Anyway, okay.
yeah, I'll check it out. I will definitely check it out. I wanted to play that game, and I just hope that, my wish is basically, I hope something change, man, because we've seen these tech demos from Unreal Engine and some experts saying that we're supposed to even get better performance. Like Nanite, for example, is supposed to be more performant for the same level of quality. Okay. Well, give me that instead, man. Give me the better performance for the same level of quality. Give me that option at least. And I hope this doesn't become the norm, because a lot of games that I'm looking forward, like this one, and also, Black Myth Wukong, for example, a game like I'm looking forward to this monkey game with the staff. You've seen this advertisement. This is a monkey. You have a staff, like a humanoid monkey with a staff, and it's like this one. It's like similar. It's like a Souls-like game. It's looking absolutely unbelievable, but Unreal Engine 5 concerns. So I hope it's not another of those bad.
Yeah, but you know what I don't understand? I mean, Fortnite. I mean, that's not. It's a very vibrant game, but it looks great if you turn on all the stuff, and it doesn't run too bad. You know.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It runs so well.
So why? I think it's just a learning, maybe time to get the developer used to this or whatever. But
it runs okay. But the thing is, on Fortnite, you can turn off all that thing and get the better performance. That's what I want, to give me that option, so I can get great performance.
Okay, what is this? The last one, and then that's it. Great stream. I switched to Samsung Neo QLED, 100% PC monitor over LG OLED. Did I made a mistake? I like the brand Samsung. No, because we're talking about that's a QLED, not QD OLED. You have an LCD screen, which should have perfect no color fringing at all. No color fringing. It should be perfect for a PC monitor. And if you like the brightness of Samsung, then why not? It's good. That's how it is. No, you did not do a mistake. Why not? Some Unreal Engine sucks anyway. I mean, look, yeah. Hey, next week, Spider-Man, we will see performance mode, 70, 80 FPS with ray tracing enabled, or whatever you call it, and we have a great performance with a great looking game next week. And this is on a PlayStation 5, which cost just, I don't know how much less than a 4080. I paid $1,800 for my 4080. A PlayStation 5 is $750. So
I mean, Insomniac, they are the best, and I mean, they've been working with the same city, of course, changing the city and all of that. But they're polished that and improve it. I'm expecting like impressive.
I'm not a big Spider-Man fan. I like the movies, but the game, I'm not a big fan of the game. But I like the technology behind this. I like to analyze this game like the crazy, and it shouldn't be that hard. So I should be able to progress easier.
Yeah, I mean, I am not like a Spider-Man fan or anything like that, but the games, in my opinion, Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man and Miles Morales, those are the most spectacular games I've ever played on my PC, and nothing comes close. It's so spectacular and it runs so well. It's just incredible, man.
Buddy, hey, how are you? Thank you very much for this. Thanks for the stream. I agree. When you pay over $1,200 for a GPU, give me 4K gaming with great FPS. Yes, absolutely. And we should actually stop comparing always PC with gaming console. It's just not a fair comparison because, well, let's say like this. I mean, I would expect from a $1,200 GPU, just a GPU, so much more than a PlayStation 5. That's how it is. You can't expect the same, you know? I mean, but on the other hand, we should compare it because if we're getting a worse performance like in Lords of the Fallen compared to a PlayStation 5, then something is wrong. Full stop.
Yeah.
A PC is much more powerful than any console what we have right now, you know, with a 4080 or whatever. You know, it's more than, I don't know how much more teraflops we have. But anyway, this should be the case.
Yeah, the thing with a PC is that I enjoy also changing settings. And sometimes we get a game that has chromatic aberration by default. You cannot turn it off. And then you can always get a mod to remove that on the PC, something like that.
That's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm still waiting actually for the official patch for Starfield on the PC to get HDR officially. When is it coming?
I don't know.
Starfield, huh?
I'm not sure if you watched this video. I was laughing like almost to. I was almost passing out laughing with a video. I saw it was like a montage, like an edit video from Todd Howard at Gamescom, and later I find out that this was actually AI and all that because it was looking so real, and it was just so funny. Like I almost passed out laughing to this thing. And yeah, it's very funny. You should check that out about Starfield. It was really, really fun.
But it's optimized on a PC. So your PC, if too slow, then just you need to buy a 4090 probably.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what Todd Howard said in an interview. You just need to upgrade your PC, and that's just wrong.
Yeah, no worries. Because just 4080 and 4090, just 4090 counts. Nothing else. Everything else is actually low gaming. That's how it is.
Yeah, let's see GTA 6. I hope it is a home run. I am not very optimistic from what I saw with the leaks, but because it is Rockstar, I have to expect the best, basically. But they're using the same engine, so that's concerning.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, on the other hand, still waiting for Red Dead Redemption 2. 60 FPS update. There was a 60 FPS update for Red Dead Redemption on the PlayStation 5 now, but I don't have the game and I'm still not supporting this. I'm not buying it. No. No, not for this price. Nah. Anyway. Okay. I think it's fine. 2-hour stream. What do you say? I'm getting hungry. Okay. So it's a little bit, it's actually 1 p.m. here now. Okay.
That's great. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks everybody that joined the stream. It was very nice to have you guys here, and see you like in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. That's the minimum. You know, I can't make it. You know, it's just if you have full house with kids, you will learn this as well. Ariel, you get a wife, you settle down, you have kids, and then suddenly shit, I have to do this and this and this. Yeah. Anyway, that's how it is. That's life. Okay, but it was good. I liked it. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, Ariel.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.